Hi guys, I'm back with another video. This is a collaboration that Janet over at RTS started. It is using her Scrapbook Generation 6x6 series that she's doing, and she invited a bunch of us girls to create our own layout. I wanted to start off by giving you guys a tip. I don't know if this will be much of a tip, but I think it's useful, and I also help. It's also reusing something that's already been used. This is little Halloween kit that my kids had, and what I usually do is I take it apart, and some are too thick but some are thinner, and I end up using all the leftover parts for dimension on my layouts. Now you might not always need some that are this thick, so those you might be able to discard, or they might actually be something super dimensional on your layout. For example, this skull is something really cute, or you can repurpose it so that you can use it for snail mail or cute embellishments like that. This one's gonna have that double stick tape, so I don't think it's going to end up working, but you can even trace it to make your own little skulls, and then you have a stencil to use it for. You can also repurpose some of these, like the stickers. They come off pretty simply, and they can also be a theme for your scrapbook layout if need be. But they do have several of these thinner pieces, especially some of these long construction pieces that you can reuse. So that's what I wanted to start off by saying. So I wanted to do this photograph, and I wanted to use this 6x6 pad, the 31. You are able to use as many different 6x6s that you'd like. You can even use your scraps and cut them down to 6x6s. I am going to use this sheet. It's like an orange polka dot, and it comes from this American Crafts Hocus Pocus paper pad. I'm super excited, and I had already pre-pulled some papers. I pulled out my favorites and stuff that I would consider not so Halloween, because this is a birthday layout, and it wasn't her birthday, but my sister took a picture of her daughter at our older sister's birthday party. They had a Day of the Dead theme for the party. So this is what I'm thinking of using, and I had already pre-pulled these papers, and I am using, like I said, this 12x12 pattern paper from American Crafts. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on my layout. Before I do, I did want to mention that I am thinking of using these alphas, maybe a sticker or two from here. If I do end up needing more paper, I wanted to pull some out from here, and there's no guarantee that I'll do it, but I might. And then I was thinking of using some embellishments. These came from Janet a while ago during her July giveaway for the 4th of July. These were included in there. And then I have some stickers also from Hey Pumpkin and some embellishments. I don't know if this is all I'm going to use. I don't even know if I'm going to touch some of these, but I am going to try and pull from them, especially since they were brand new. And I thought this might be a cute addition as well. So I'll go ahead and put you on fast forward and get my layout started. So I started off by cutting the branding strip from the 12x12 paper pad, and it does leave kind of like a jagged edge, so I went ahead and used my paper trimmer. I am using these We Are Memory Keeper layer guides, and I do like that 1/8 of an inch border that it gives, and that's probably the one that I use the most, that one, or the 1/16. I did have this little piece of, I think it was like 3x6 piece of paper that was a scratch piece of paper from the, what is it called? It's called 31, and it's from Pebbles, from that 6x6 paper pad, and I decided to go ahead and use a scallop border that you see there in the top of the frame. And it's by Fiskars. Now, in order for that scallop border to kind of jump out from the page, I do back it with this glitter border sticker. It's paper tape, glitter paper tape. That's a long one. It's a mouthful. And it's to help the border stand out from that very busy floral patterned paper. And I think it gives it also a nice bit of texture to kind of help the layering differentiate from all of it, because I do end up using so many patterned papers. It tends to get a little bit busy, and so that break between paper layers with some texture really adds to the depth and dimension of the layout. So I did decide right off the bat in using the 6x6 that I wanted to make a banner page. I could have made it a grid style type of banner, but I wanted it to kind of have some motion, especially with all these different patterns that I'm using. I wanted to create that type of like motion with the different banners kind of sitting in in a type of way that a banner normally would say on a wall. So I do decide to cut these in 2x3 dimensions. And so I do end up hand making these banners, and I cut the little fishtail edge. I just did like a couple, like maybe a half an inch up or something to that effect, so that I could have a nice uniform fishtail banner. So here you see me. I didn't know whether I was going to put the photograph in the middle, to the side, on the top, to the bottom, whatever. But as soon as I wanted to kind of showcase these banners a bit, I just wanted to lay them kind of at the top and at the bottom so you could really see all the different patterns of the banners. And then I decided that I was going to add 2 to fit alongside the middle of the page with my photograph. That way it gives the illusion that the whole back of the pattern paper is backed with these banners, but I didn't really have to quote unquote waste my paper by not adding banners in behind my photograph and the mat. Which is great, because with those leftover banners, I ended up making a few cards, and I don't have a video for it, but maybe I'll insert, I did 2 cards with 3 of the banners that I had left. And so it was basically, I was left with a 2x6-inch strip if we are trying to figure out how much 6x6 paper I have left from the ones that I had used. I ended up with a 2x6 strip left of all the patterns that I ended up using. But I ended up using all of it since I did do those cards. And so those will be ready for next year in case I need to send out some happy mail or just a card in general. I haven't really been keeping up with my correspondence, and just really belayed thank yous that I need to send out to people. This new schedule, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but just adapting to a new schedule is hard. And so, especially with me, I really didn't have it together to begin with. So in trying for me to get used to this new the new work schedule, and also we have started a new activity for my kids 3 times a week, and so it's a major change, and it's something that I'm still trying to get used to, and just trying to incorporate scrapbooking into the mix has been kind of, I don't want to say difficult, but it is exhausting. Scrapbooking is something that I want to do, and it is something that I would like to get some artistic relief or like stress relief with. It's something that I really would enjoy as a stress reliever, but I just find myself with no time. So I need to be better at my time management. This layout, however, back to the layout, took me about an hour, and so that was really good, because I tend to take about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, and then it goes on to days if I add more detailed things to it. But I did like all the dimension and the texture that I did add. I got this twine from Josie or Josie Pazzi. I don't know how to say her YouTube video, but her YouTube name or her Instagram name, but that's what it's, Josie, I think. And it's orange, and I put it across the banners almost as if that was holding up all the banner pieces. In the middle, you can see that I did use those burlap little bows that Janet sent in one of the giveaways that I had won from her. And then these excess pieces of banners that are coming out of the page I cut off, because then my page isn't going to fit in the album. So I ended up doing that for texture and dimension. Now here you saw real quick that I did push the pins in from those, they're like a brad, but they're like a 6-prong, 5-prong brad from the stars. I ended up using 2, 4, 6, 8. I ended up using 8 of them, but 2 in the middle that kind of flank the photograph got covered up because my matting was too big, so those didn't even end up being seen. So here you see me backing a kind of like a, what do you call that texture? Like a half rosette type of texture. I accordion folded behind the sticker, and I thought that was a really cute addition. I wanted to make sort of like a big embellishment, and I didn't have any per se, and so I thought I might use this crepe paper in order to give my cluster a starting point almost. So here I needed a little piece of something to kind of differentiate all my layers and embellishments from each other, and I needed another piece of paper, and so I punched out a scallop circle with my Fiskars punch because I needed I didn't want it to have some kind of like empty space or gaps in between the embellishments, and so I needed that one something. I have that big ticket H that says Spooky Nights, and it has an H for Halloween, but I didn't need it for that date, and it also kind of faintly said 10/31 on the actual ticket itself. I didn't use it for that, and that's why I used the heart embellishment on top of it, and you can sort of read Spooky Nights, but I covered most of the H and that 10/31 that was also printed on the ticket with my scallop circle. So that ended up helping with the layering and also to kind of cover up things that I didn't want to be seen, because this wasn't a Halloween layout. Like I said, this was a birthday layout and it didn't happen on Halloween. I had several other let's see here. The heart says, I love you so much, it's spooky, or it's scary. And then I added that teal October banner. It says October. And then the sticker says butterfly wings and things. And it doesn't really have anything to do with the picture, but I just thought it was a really cute element, especially because the butterfly means something in the Day of the Dead holiday. So that is the end of my layout. Please don't forget to check out the other ladies that also participated in the hop. My video is coming out super late, and I do apologize for that, but I am trying to get it out before anybody else misses it. If not, then you can always check it out on my channel. I'll leave a list of the other ladies linked down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!